Alright, so where do we start this video? Well, it's about YouTube, obviously, based on the title for this video. I hope it's going to encourage you to take the step out there in the wild and in the internet world and start your own YouTube channel this year. And I'm gonna tell you exactly why. Because I think it's an important thing to talk about, specifically after 2020, which was kind of a disaster, and open up our minds more to maybe it's important to have different income streams. And I can tell you that YouTube is one of the best passive income streams that you can build over time. Now this is important. It's not going to happen from one day to the next, but it will happen if you stay consistent and really have a passion for what it is you're creating videos about. Now, there are a few objections to starting YouTube channels, and it's totally understandable. Some of them I wrote down here. You're not funny, for example. And I'm gonna talk about each of these points in this video. You're not an extrovert, you're camera shy. You don't have a skill, and you don't know what type of videos you want to, what type of things you want to make videos about. You don't know what you're passionate about. And you're scared of what people may think. So you're scared of what your friends or your family might think about. This guy is weird. He's just sitting in his office, talking to a camera, making videos about stuff that no one cares about. That's at least what I thought when I started the Sketch Monkey channel. It turns out a couple of 100,000 people actually enjoy what I talk about and have the same kind of interests that I have, which I had no idea about because I didn't really meet these people in real life. But when I put the stuff on the internet, all of a sudden I got subscribers and people that are actually interested in what you have to say. So let's talk about the first point here, that you're not funny. The thing of being on YouTube or going full-time on YouTube, trying to make it a full-time living, is that you don't have to be funny. With every video that I make here on YouTube, I try to become more and more myself and just relax and not try to add this persona on top of whatever or who I am already. So I just try to, like, I talk to the camera right here. I'm talking to this camera, but I know on the other side of this camera, you're sitting there. I'm treating the camera as if I'm talking to my best friend who kind of maybe wants some advice on starting a YouTube channel or something like that. So you don't have to be funny, you just have to be yourself. And if that means that you're being weird, that's even better. The weirder you are online, the better, because everybody tries to fit into this mold, but no one cares about if you have some. You don't need to stick to any social rules online. What people want to know is your opinion and what you think about the things that you're talking about. For example, me, I like to be weird and talk about the lines in cars. Like, there is no one that I know in the real world that wants to sit down and listen to me talk. I'm sitting outside, and then a car drives by and I start talking about the lines and how it doesn't connect to the rear window there and it looks weird. People are gonna think I'm weird, they still do, but I don't really care because I like to talk about that stuff. And as I said, apparently a couple of 100,000 people like to hear me talk about that as well. That's not something that I really expected to happen. So being funny doesn't really, you don't have to be funny at all to be a YouTuber. And there are several examples of people that are not funny, they just like to talk about specific things and share their opinions, and people like to listen to that. So that was the first point. The second point is you're not an introvert, you're camera shy. Well, this is funny because I consider myself to be one of the most introverted people I ever known myself. Like, it's weird. So here's the thing. I can't do small talk. I just can't do it. When I try when someone tries to approach me and do small talk, I don't know what to do. It feels like my brain is melting and I have to come up with things to say. And when I don't come up with things to say, I just do something awkward and I just ruin everything. I like to talk about, I can't talk about things that just has no substance. Talking about the weather requires more brain power from me than talking about, let's say, your dreams or what are your ambitions or car design or things that I'm interested in. Just talking about nonsense, it doesn't work for me. Like, I just shut down and I get a headache and I don't want to do this, and then I just leave and everything becomes super awkward. So being an extrovert, I'm definitely not an extrovert. If you meet me in real life, you're going to realize that this dude is actually really weird. So that's not something you have to worry about, being super extroverted, because I might seem like an extrovert right here on YouTube, but that's that's just because I'm talking about stuff that I love to talk about. And when I talk about stuff that I love to talk about, I can go on for hours and hours and talk about car design. I can talk about the shoulder line on the S-Class for an hour and a half. No problem. It's not, that's the point. You make a YouTube channel to talk about what you are interested in. And if you stick to that and you stick to being yourself, which is not easy, I know that. It's not easy to be yourself. But if you try over time to stick to what you like to talk about, you're going to gain a following because they're going to like you for who you are and all the weird stuff that you talk about. That's how you build a YouTube channel. Not like trying to fit into whatever someone else is doing. You don't want to try to copy someone else, but you want to be yourself and just be as weird as you want. I'm working on that too. I'm probably gonna look back to this video in a year and feel like cringy just watching this video. Now the third point, you don't have a skill or you don't know what you want to make videos of. This is probably the easiest point to address because, you know, come on, you have something that you're interested in. What do you do when you have time off? What do you do when you're off work? What do you do at work? Do you enjoy your work? Are you within the 15% that actually love your 9 to 5? Then talk about that. Talk about what you love about your work and how you can make it better. Well, I don't know, whatever. Talk about your work. If you love your work, it's easy to talk about things that you love. If you hate your work, you might not want to make a channel about how you hate your work. That might not be the best idea. But then talk about something that that you love to do outside of work. Everybody has something. It can be your dog. It can be knitting. It can be like me. I love to sketch. I love to talk about sketching and stuff like that. I have a bunch of stuff here on the... I can pick up this. Let's see what we have here. I have some sketches. I have a car. It's supposed to be a Supra right there. I can talk about this Supra and what kind of markers I used here. The majority of people don't give a crap about what I'm about to talk about. But if you talk about stuff like this, like what you love, what gradients you use, what type of markers, the shading, why is it blue here? That's because it's reflecting the sky. Why is it darker here? That's because it's reflecting the ground and so on. And when you start to make a channel like this, in the beginning, you're not gonna see any growth at all. It's going to be total flatline and it's going to be very disappointing and you want to feel like you're going to want to give up. But as you're building your channel, what you want to do at the same time is just interact with other channels that are doing the same thing. Comment on their videos. Make legit comments, so not just a heart or a thumbs up or something like that. Start a conversation with other channels. Make interesting comments so that when people see your comments on bigger channels, they go and check out what you really have to say because your comment was so interesting that they decided to go and check out your channel. I'm gonna get to the point why I think it's a good idea in 2021 overall to start a YouTube channel. I'm gonna talk about that in just a second, but first I want to get through these objections that I know a lot of people have, including myself when I started this channel. So you don't have a skill, you don't know what to talk about, go and look at my first videos on the Sketch Monkey. It's painful to say, but go and look at those videos and just see how bad they are. Alright guys, let's get started with the first sketch. When I get a new project at work, I usually they're really bad, and then compare those to the later videos that I've made. Hopefully you will be able to see a little bit of a difference there. The fifth point that I wrote down here that I've heard a lot of people talk about is you're scared about what people have to say if you start a YouTube channel. They're gonna say that maybe you're wasting your time, your parents gonna not understand what the heck you're doing, why you're spending so much time creating this channel, and blah blah. First of all, parents, you have to have some understanding for them. I do. I mean, they grew up during a completely different time when you know, working online and talking to a camera, that wasn't considered really, you know, a job. But now today it's different environment, so they don't understand really, and I don't think you can expect them to understand fully what it is you're doing. Take your family's advice, or your parents specifically, with a grain of salt. If they tell you to maybe you know, focus on getting a real job working 9 to 5, then just tell them, yeah, sure, just give me a couple of years. If this doesn't work out, I might consider it. But in your back of your head, you say, of course I'm not gonna take a real job. I'm gonna continue doing YouTube until it actually works, because that's the only mentality you have to have if you want to make this work. So parents, that's how you deal with the parents. Just buy more time. You keep buying more time. If you want to get a job on the side to make them happy, you can do that and maybe make some extra income. But if you have friends that think you're weird for doing YouTube and stuff like that, then honestly they are not your friends. Just ditch them, move on, because they are not going to be, if they're not going to be supportive of what you want to do and what you love to do, then they're really not your friends. and they probably have some issues themselves. Maybe they deep inside want to start a YouTube channel, but they don't have the courage that you have to start it, and that's why they're picking on you for starting a channel. So those are the two kind of categories of people. Your parents, very easy, just buy more time. They understand. They probably will never understand, maybe, but you can always buy more time. And when it comes to your friends, you know, if they think you're weird for starting a channel, who cares? We're all gonna be dead in 100 years anyway, so it really doesn't matter what anybody think of you, as long as you're not being rude or you're not hurting anybody. Who cares about what other people think of you? Those are the objections. And now I want to talk about why YouTube is such a good idea to get started online, because I think it's the barrier to what's it called, the barrier to entry. Yes, I think that's what it's called. So it's very easy to get started with YouTube. It doesn't have high barriers. All you need is this. You need your phone, or you can get a camera or whatever. I used to use this until about 6 months ago to record all my videos up to 250,000 subscribers. I only used a phone, and that's all you need. You need that. You need the phone, and the phone has a built-in mic too. Perfect. And then you just need to talk about and make videos about what you like, and then you keep doing that. You just keep uploading videos, and as time goes on, you see what people like, what people dislike, and then you just adjust your content towards what people tend to enjoy more. But you still want to stay within your category of what you love to do, but you can angle the videos and try out different methods of putting your message in the video until you find a method or a procedure, or it's not the word I'm looking for. I'm looking for a specific word here. Comment down below if you know the word I'm looking for here. Until you find a specific word that works, that people enjoy. And the thing with YouTube videos is that every single video that you make is an asset. So as long as the video is up on the platform YouTube, it's going to hopefully generate some views, and those views are hopefully going to generate some revenue for as long as the video is on the channel. And the thing is here, I right now I have a video on the Sketch Monkey channel that is, I think it's over 2 years old. It's something like 2 years, close to 2 years or something like that. And it just recently took off like a rocket. I had no idea that was gonna happen, and Rosie knows exactly what it's all about. But I wanted to show you this graph here to as an example, as the work you did 2 years ago, it might take off in 2 years. It might take off in 3 years, 4 years, who knows? Whenever the almighty YouTube algorithm decides that this video is worthy of being recommended, and then boom, it can take off like a rocket, just like this video did here. And I think it's really cool that it can do that. Don't be discouraged when you upload a video and it doesn't get any views, because it might be an exceptional video in 2 years from now. And especially if you're making content on things that will be evergreen, so things that are people searching for and are going to keep searching for in years from now, like sketching or drawing. It's kind of, I hope people will still love to draw in 2 years. Who knows what will happen, but I'm guessing so. Some of my videos might take off in 2 years. Some other videos that have not taken off yet, I'm sure at some point they're going to take off. Who knows? If they don't, it's fine. I just keep creating more and more videos, just because I love to do it. I would do this even though I didn't get paid, because I sketch anyway, so why not share it on my channel? It just makes sense. The same with this type of YouTube, starting a channel. You know, I want to open up the minds of more people as to what is possible if you just decide to take a year of putting up content consistently. Take a year, and that year might change your life. It sounds so cliche when I say it, but it's true. Just take a year and upload consistently. I have a whiteboard right here where I have my upload schedule for both my channels, and I'm gonna keep uploading on this schedule for a year to come and see what happens. I've been doing it for over a year on my first channel, and it went really well. I gained a lot of followers, I gained a lot of subscribers, views, and everything like that, everything you want. You just have to stay consistent, even though in the beginning it's going to be very hard, because you see literally no growth at all. But keep being consistent and stay up with the upload schedule, and I'm sure at some point within the year you're going to start to see a little tick, and that little tick is going to be all you need to keep going. And that's kind of what I want to share. And I think it's important to share stuff like this, and I'm going to share more tips like this. I want to share how you can start making some revenue online revenue online using what you already know. So the skills you already know. I want this video to help students or people that feel like they need a second income online. It's not that hard. It's really not that hard if you just decide to do the work. So moving forward, this channel is going to be a little bit more angled towards that. Not sure why it's called the Sketch Academy. I'll put in some sketching videos as well, but I also want this to be a big part of this channel because it's something that I'm passionate about, and I already have done 52,373 sketching tutorial videos on the Sketch Monkey channel, which you can go and check out, which pretty much covers everything I know about sketching. So that should be enough for you if you go through all of them. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful. If it was, please give this video a like. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel. Hopefully you'll get to know me over time and maybe get some ideas spinning in your head. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Take care.